To use our images in our program in processing, the first thing that we need to do is we need to establish variables to hold the image information. We are going to use a variable type of pImage or processing image. So it's pImage, and I have one for my catcher image, one for my drop image, and one for each of my backgrounds. I put those on one line separated by commas just to conserve space, but also it makes sense and organizes things nicely. I could define these inside my setup, but because now I'm starting to have a number of different things going on in my setup, I decided to consolidate the information into a new function called load assets. Load assets is defined down here at the bottom, where I now say catcher image is equal to load image, and now I am referencing the image file. Image files that I'm using are contained inside a folder. This folder must be labeled data. So this is inside my project folder. We can see my other files here. And inside that, I now have my catcher, I have my drop, I have additional files that we will talk about in a little bit. I have lose game, play game, start, and win game. So these are all of the files, the PNGs that I'm working with. We use PNGs because the PNG allows for transparency. So for my catcher and for my drop, I am now able to have transparent edges on my artwork. For my larger graphics that cover the whole screen, that doesn't really matter, but it's easier if we're only dealing with one image type. So again, we set a pImage variable, and then we will assign to that load image, and we must specify the path to that image using its full name, including the extension .png or .jpg or whatever else we're using. But I will still recommend we use PNG. If I look inside my catcher, I will now see to show the image, I have commented out my previous information, and I am looking at the catcher by saying image, and now I specify which image file and where I want it to show up on screen, the X and Y value. We use X minus R so that we're drawing the image around the center, because by default the picture will draw from its top left corner. So if the image is a box, such as my loose screen, it's drawing from this top left corner up here. To get our catcher to display, we want to not draw from the top left corner, but draw from the center, the same way that our original computer artwork was displaying from its center, or the drop was displaying from its center. Artwork does not have to be round, but we're making the assumption that it's relatively squarish or round when we work with it. So for this, we are now saying X minus R, which is half of the width and half of the height of the image. Same thing on our drop. Show me the drop image, show me where. My backgrounds are being displayed, so now under start game, I say image and I show the start background. This time we draw them from the top left corner of our sketch using 0, 0. Play game, I show my play background. And win game, I will show my win background. Lose game, I show my lose background. Again, all of these are drawing at 0, 0, so it's starting at the top left corner. If I run the project, we will see it now shows me the image. It started drawing it at 0, 0, the top left corner. When I click to play, now we can see the catcher and my drops falling down. I caught my drops. Good job, I won. If we let time run out, we will see that I have now lost. Click to play again. So we're able to load the graphics. We'll also notice on the win and lose, including the words as text. Non-changing text should just be incorporated into the background image. If it's changing text, like inside our game, where we need to show the score and show the time and show what level we're on, when we're doing a game like that, that text should not be part of the background because it is changing. It's only the unchanging text that we put into the background, but that does clean it up, because now when game, if I get rid of the extra text no longer being used, we will see how short that function becomes, making it even easier to read when we look at our code. When we're doing images, once again, we create our pimage variable, give it a name. We need to load image for that item, and then we are able to display that item. What you will notice is I only had to load the drop image one time, even though my game is going to be using 100 drops. I don't need to load the image 100 times. I just load it once, and then I can display it 100 times on screen. That allows me to be much more effective in my memory management, so that my program doesn't run out of memory by trying to load too many assets into memory, and then it runs out of room and it crashes. So we only load the drop once, and then we can display it. However, each drop will just display that same drop image, but at a new location. So that's an efficiency. So make sure that we only say load image one time for each image, and we should never be saying load image with the same file multiple times inside a for loop or something like that. That would be bad form and would cause us to run out of memory as our application runs.